What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And today we're continuing on with the Mortal Thor, issue number 2. And after this new Thor, more or less without powers, he gets into a street fight in an alleyway. And this fight, it definitely goes in his favor. He smashes in some dude's skulls, but he is left bleeding. He's left with some wounds. So when he returns home and he goes back to his apartment, this is where he goes to his neighbor, being dropped off by this red-headed trickster that we can only assume at this point is Loki. We don't really know what Loki's up to or what Loki is doing, but he is obviously keeping tabs on Thor, on this amnesia-ridden Thor. A man that doesn't know who he is, doesn't understand his power, doesn't even know that he has power. He just knows that he's good with a hammer, and he knows that those guys that he beat up, they don't represent Thor. Though they may claim to do so, he knows in his gut that Thor would be repulsed by those men. But this is where we go on to see that Kristen kind of just sews him up, or at least helps him. Sig really does most of the sewing himself, something that he seems to just know naturally. While he cleans himself up, she's got to know, like, what happened? And he goes into detail. There was a strike. They wanted him to break it. He said no. These guys followed him. They jumped him. Thor won. And while he was able to take down 2 of them, one of them did get away, but he thinks that he knows where they might have gone. Thor has no intention of calling the police though. Knowing Roxanne, knowing how big this corporation is, he knows that he doesn't have a lawyer and they probably have many. This is not a fight that he's gonna win in court. And so, thanking Kristen for everything that she's done so far, he does ask for one last thing. He asks for bungee cord. This is what takes us to the rough house. This is the kind of dive bar for our little Thor worshipping wannabes. And the guy that got away, he's here talking to the boss. And the boss is finding out that 2 other of their guys got jumped. They got hospitalized. Obviously, he's livid. He wants to find out who this guy is, where he is, and he wants to take him down. We see that some of the crew here, they have Hydra symbols on their jacket. So it's not just made up of Thor worshippers. But he yells out a decree. He says that the sweetest fish, he's hiding somewhere in the city. We're gonna flush him out, but we're not gonna kill him. We're gonna kill his friends. We're gonna kill his family. We're gonna kill his neighbors, his dog. We're gonna take everything that he has. We will teach him the rule of Thor. And that is when they hear a knock at the door. Having one of the guys go answer. When he peeps outside, when he cracks it open, what he is met with is the mighty hammer of Thor on a bungee cord. One side attached to the hammer's handle, the other attached to Thor's wrist. He uses this as a retractable hammer, throwing it, hitting it in dude's face, and then it returning right back to his hand. And Thor tells them that you talk of killing my friends, taking all I have, but know this. I don't have many friends. I don't have much to take. Any life that I ever had, I've pretty much forgotten what it was. But I do know one thing. I know of Thor. He is not only a god of strength. He is not a god of taking and hurting, and he is not your god. The Thor I know is a protector, that if he sees something wrong, he will break the sky to right it. And so if you want Thor, I will be your Thor. As we see him wield that hammer, he smashes in dudes' faces, caves in dudes' skulls. There is no remorse. There is no mercy. And when the boss points a gun at Thor and shoots it, we see that bullet come out and it meets Thor's hammer, ricocheting off and hitting dude in the head. There was no competition. There was no match. Thor came in here and he wrecked shop, just wreaking havoc on all of these guys, any that survive. He tells them to bury your dead, and to change your life. All of you, change your life or I will return. As Thor makes his exit, we pick up at Roxanne. Now, the guy in charge of the plant, the one that had beef with Thor, now realizing that his bikers more or less couldn't get the job done. They got jumped and now he needs some bigger muscle. After calling the head office back at Roxanne, they gave him a number to one individual. They say that he is the guy, one that has unconventional means, one they refer to as the head of the snake. This man is none other than Donald Blake. That is where this issue will end. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, for those that don't know, Donald Blake, he seems to be teaming up to be the next big villain for Thor. This is Odin's forgotten son. Now, when Thor was originally sent to Earth to learn humility, he gave his son mortal form and an identity known as Donald Blake. Eventually, he stops using this identity, but Odin's magic causes Donald to gain some kind of sentience. And then he's pretty much driven mad that his existence was all on the whim of a careless god. He eventually makes his way to becoming godlike. He eventually gets defeated, Loki even going as far as declaring him yet another fallen son of Odin. And a great little tidbit about this, you know, the actual mythology behind Thor is Thor was always fated to die at the World Serpent. This was supposed to take place during the final battle of Ragnarok. And we see right here, Donald is calling himself the Serpent, the entire Serpent. So is this Donald Blake attempt at kind of taking back what he believes he deserves? Thor is kind of nowhere to be seen. Does Donald Blake see this as an opportunity to really grab hold of and take his place as Odin's son, as the god of thunder? And then we also have to wonder, what is Loki at? What is he doing? What is the point to all of this? What game is he playing by messing with this amnesia-ridden Thor? With only 2 issues in, I gotta say, Mortal Thor is off to a great start. It's been very graphic, it's been very brutal, but it's also very story-driven. It's definitely leading us in a direction, and with the reintroduction of Donald Blake, it brings up a lot of questions on what they're gonna actually do with Thor and how Thor is going to be once he gets to the other side of this. There's no question about it. This is great character development, and this is exactly the kind of stories that we need for our heroes. Let's hope that this momentum can carry on, because we're only on issue number 2, so let's hope that this momentum carries on. Thor series has been phenomenal, so I have no doubt that it can maintain and tell an absolutely fantastic story. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with the mortal Thor. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having a bunch of different tiers from $1 to $50, a bunch of different perks that help us out tremendously. But if you're not able to do that, please just do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, liking this video, hitting that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.